Okay, so this is my tripod while I'm traveling. This is gives you a little bit of insight into the realities of making content when you're traveling. Let's hope this shot looks all right. Look, I think, it's a bit high, isn't it? Well, bottoms up. The tiniest tink you've ever heard. Well, hello lovely. I hope you have a tea. You're here to join me on vacation on the beautiful Greek island of Amorgos. I hope I said that okay. I know it's probably not quite right, but I'm here on a yoga retreat with 8 other women and 2 yoga instructors, and I'm staying in this beautiful, beautiful resort on a hilltop. I've been here for 4 or 5 days, something like that. We have one more full day tomorrow, and then it's time to head off, to leave. But I thought, you know, I'd sort of bring you along for a little bit of this experience in the meantime. We have room and breakfast and buffet dinner included in our package deals. And we also got a half-hour massage in our package deal, which I've already taken advantage of. And there's, you know, all the luxuries that you would like in a resort. There's a beautiful pool with a beautiful view. There's, oh, I should probably film that, shouldn't I? There's a sauna, a spa, lots of nice things. The restaurant is great, it's magnificent. I would have brought you along for buffet breakfast or buffet dinner, but I do feel quite rude. I would feel rude doing that when I'm in a group situation. And even though the people here know what I do for a living, and I'm sure they would not at all mind, they're really lovely ladies, I don't want to do that. I don't want to mix work and buffet meals. But let me assure you that the food here is, you know, you get the whole Western spread plus the Greek style food. So you get, you know, the cooked options, you get your continental options, then you get a whole lot of really high quality feta and yogurt, which is, you know, I think I'm 90% Greek dairy now, in terms of my body composition, I mean. Food has been amazing. Yeah, another reason I don't want to film during meal times is because that's, you know, chat time, chit-chat time with the ladies, and I don't want to feel like, you know, kind of like off on a different planet. Because let's be real, when I am making content, I do go to another place up here. You know, I think very differently. Even right now, you know, I don't wear makeup basically at all in real life these days, but you know, I felt compelled. I'm going to edit this, I'm going to look at images of this for years to come, maybe, and I don't often rewatch my own stuff, but you know what I mean, like I have to look at this. So I went to the effort of putting a face on, putting my beautiful gown on. You know, I'm strategic now. I'm like, okay, well, oh, what's that shot gonna look like, you know? Is that shot okay? And you can't be thinking about that while you're trying to be present with people. So it's a big reason why I don't really film so social interactions. It's just, I want to experience the social interaction. And now a word from today's video sponsor, Squarespace. If you are looking to transform your life, Squarespace is an excellent platform to take your ideas and turn them into reality. Squarespace is an all-inclusive platform that will allow you to build your website with ease, as well as sorting out your domain name. Whether you want to sell memberships, services, sell your own products, promote an event, Squarespace has you covered. Starting your own web space might be the simplest step that you can take today towards building your dream life. And it might be just an hour of your life that creates this change in your reality. If you head to www.squarespace.com right now, you can start a free trial. The AI that Squarespace uses will help you choose a template that is best for what you are trying to achieve. They have so many beautiful templates to choose from, and they are extremely easy to customize. You do not need to know any programming languages to be able to create the website of your dreams. You can now also enable Squarespace payments to manage all of your payments in one place. You can get started in just a few clicks, and Squarespace also does give you the option to use popular payment methods such as Klarna, Apple Pay, Afterpay, and ClearPay. Squarespace has an awesome offer for you today. To get 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain name, all you need to do is go to www.squarespace.com, start your free trial, and when you are ready to launch, use this here URL. A massive thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Hiding in someone's jacket, that's so sweet. Mm. Okay, the elephant in the room. Okay, look, I may have eaten a lot of dairy over the last week, but do not call me an elephant. I bought this dress in town, in this town, in the tiny town of, I can't say it. I'm not going to try to say it. One of the towns, the town that's nearby. It's just a very light cotton, I would say almost cheesecloth type fabric. Very lightweight, very frilly. You know what? I saw it, I tried it on, and I was like, yes, this is her. This is she. I just realized the mic isn't in. Can you hear me? Can you hear the difference? Sorry, I am trying to speak softly because I know that the noise doesn't travel here a lot because I can never hear my direct neighbours, and I know them, so I know they can't hear me. But I don't know, I'm feeling a little self-conscious. This room is also very echoey. I don't want to be loud. So yes, anyway, I went to town, I tried on this dress, and you know how I'm really picky and I'm really indecisive, and I take a long time to make decisions when it comes to wardrobe things. But on this occasion, I think I had 5 minutes before I had to leave and go somewhere. I said, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. I took her because I realized that this is the one. This is the one. This is the dress that I wanted to pack all along, the party dress that I wanted for the Greek Islands. And look, is this the kind of dress that I would ever wear in Perth? Probably not. Probably a little too princessy, probably a little too feminine, probably a little too flowy. However, is this the perfect dress for summer European destinations? Cheers to that. Ding! It is, and you know what? It's so thin and lightweight. And I mean, look, I haven't tried rolling it up real tight and small, but I suspect that it's very lightweight and very small. It would definitely be at least as small as the dress that I actually ended up bringing here. Maybe it even weighs less. But anyway, as much as I don't really like having an excess of clothing, what I do like is having the right clothing for the right situation. So while it's potentially accurate that I will never wear this in Perth, the next time I'm packing for a European summer holiday, I know that this dress is waiting, and then I don't have to think about it anymore. You know, you watched my little series about packing for the Greek Islands. You know how much time I spent obsessing about whether I had the right kind of party dress, and I didn't have the right kind of party dress. Now, if you are enjoying this video and would like to see more from me, then I would love for you to consider joining my beautiful Patreon community. In last week's video, Patreon subscribers joined me for a relaxed ASMR lunch in Santorini. And this Monday's video is my Greek island shopping haul, show and tell. I'll see you there. Look, I've been on a few hikes. Footage. And there are lots of herbs growing on the sides of the mountains. Mountains, hills. Oh my God, can you believe it? It smells so good. Yes, I'm keeping it in a tiny espresso cup. Oh, I'd love a coffee actually. Yeah, that is fennel, my friend. Anyway, you can pop the fennel into hot water and it'll make a tea. The flavor is so lovely and sweet. And I still love fennel tea, and I completely forgot about that until we did one of these hikes, and I said, oh, look at all this fennel. And someone said, oh, you can make a tea out of that. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. But I used to drink fennel tea. It was one of my favorite teas for a time, and I'd completely forgotten about that. era of my life. What was I saying? I want to chat about some things that happened in Fira, which, you know, was not an ideal time for me, which is so interesting because it's such a contrast to the last time I went to Santorini. I had the best time in Santorini last time, and this time there were just a lot of challenges. And there were some things that happened that I didn't really want to talk about at the time because I didn't want to focus on the negatives, or I don't want to freak myself or anyone else out. So I just... words are spells, be careful. But I did wake up to an earthquake one night. I did wake up to an earthquake one night. Well, what I actually woke up to was my bed shaking like this. And I was half asleep. Just drifted back to sleep immediately. And obviously remembered it in the morning. So it wasn't that bad, obviously, if I didn't freak out and run out of the room or anything like that. But it was enough to make me wonder the next day. What was it? Option A, a little earthquake. Option B, a poltergeist. The next day I did a little bit of research and I found out that there had been a moderate earthquake. I think it was about somewhere between 5 and 6 on the Richter scale on a neighbouring island. I think it was in Crete. There was also like kind of a windstorm. I ended up getting stuck in Santorini for an extra night. There was a lot of wind coming from all which way directions, basically, most of the time I was there. You had the usual cycladic winds, the northern, northwesterly, 40 kilometers an hour, that sort of thing, which I've experienced before. That's pretty normal here. But on the day that I was supposed to get the ferry to Amorgos, your ferry's been cancelled. But I made the decision to stay put because I thought, okay, well, if the smaller ferries are getting cancelled due to a wind warning, I don't want to be stuck on the big ferries for 6 hours plus the intermission between the ferries, because you'd have to get connecting ferries. There was no direct ferry. The direct ferry is the little ferry that got cancelled. And I just thought, whatever. The wind says I stay in Santorini. So I ended up staying in Santorini an extra night. The weather was horrendous. I would say that it felt like a nasty ass Perth winter storm. It didn't rain, but the sky was really grey. It's just ominous. The wind was blowing so hard. Basically, I stayed in my room. Because of that, there was a little bit of stress missing out on one night here on this island. The wind had died down by the next day. I rescheduled the ferry. Just walked into the ferry office and rescheduled. That was easy enough. But it was kind of scary. It was like, oh my God, well, the wind isn't as strong as it was yesterday, but it's still 35, 40 kilometers an hour. It still doesn't feel very calm. And you know what? The ferry crossing was fine. It was a little bit wobbly, but nothing. nothing awful. I think I overheard someone on the ferry saying that she got seasick, so she was nervous about it, and she didn't even get seasick, so it was fine. It was fine. But what I'm saying is there was a little bit of treachery, there was a little bit of drama, there was a little bit of challenge, a little bit of difficulty, a little bit of difficulty in getting here. But once I did, the sun has come out, the wind has died down, or maybe it's just because of the cove we're in. It's not very windy here. We're in a very protected part of the island. And yeah, and it's just been beautiful and lovely, and it's sort of finally feels like I'm in Greece, because it kind of didn't feel that way when I was in Santorini. Hi. Look, I want to talk about some travel hacks, okay? Because I like travel, and I like to travel light, and I like to travel well. I like to travel simply, and I like to have a nice time. So there are some travel hacks that I have. Now, I've told you about my no jet lag hack. I'm not going to tell you about it again because it'll bore you. I've repeated this story like 16 million times. So if you want to know what the travel hack is, go back to the little series about packing for Greece, which was the series of videos before this series of videos, which came out in May. So I tried my jet lag hack again. I followed my strict rules, and guess what? Not a single iota of jet lag was had. I arrived here, I felt great, I felt normal. Try the jet lag hack. I'm not too far off leaving. The trip has gone quite quickly. I only have, I'm going to say 4 or 5 nights left in Greece. And so I'm already looking at my flights and planning the timing of my meals so that when I arrive back home, I also don't have jet lag. It was much easier on the way here though, because I flew out at 10 p.m. So it was really easy just not to eat because I'd already eaten. And so I slept through as many hours as I could. And then, you know, I had breakfast the next day at the correct timing. Oh, and I can't believe I didn't tell you about this little hack. I know it probably doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is. You want some paper towels. Just squares of paper towel. Nothing special. I've just separated them and I fold them up. I don't know how many, 5 or 6 left. And then I put them in a Ziploc bag, okay? And now I didn't have anything to check in. I only bought carry-on luggage, so this was with me at all times. But if you did check something in, this goes in your carry-on luggage. Because if you don't have access to a shower, if you just have a short layover somewhere, these are your little towels. You know how you want to rinse your face at the airport, or you want to brush your teeth in the airport bathroom because, you know, you don't have time to have a shower, you don't have space, a place to have a shower, but you want to feel a little bit less disgusting. You can even freshen up down here if you wanted to. Bring your little paper towels, and the reason you wouldn't use the one that's available in the bathroom, if often paper towel is available in the bathroom, is because this came from your house, so it doesn't have miscellaneous mystery bacteria on it. It only has the bacteria you already put on it yourself, which your body's probably used to at this point. So yeah, this is a great little hack, and it's also worked wonders for like little, you know, if I've had to fix up a little spill where I'm staying, if I need the Ziploc bag for a snack, like there's just all sorts of things that you would be surprised at how useful a Ziploc bag and paper towels are when you're traveling. Well, thank you so much for joining me here today. I really hope you're having a lovely time, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.